a service of CNC Worldwide.
The Daily is a service of CNC and Jib Jab greetings. I'm Bud Lowell, and your full AccuWeather forecast is always on top here on your CNC local news page. Thunderstorms blew suddenly across the Rochester area Tuesday evening. Here we go again. Bringing high winds, hail, and heavy rainfall. Numerous trees were downed, particularly in Wayne County. That brought down power lines. Service was out for a short time to about 5,000 RG&E customers. Practically all of them were back on by early morning. Scattered flash flooding was reported around the area, including on I-490 at the Culver Road exit. Hail was reported in Greece and around western New York. The National Weather Service Spotter Network reported numerous trees down in the western part of Wayne County, including one that fell on a house in East Williamson. Numerous roads were flooded temporarily in the city of Batavia. Some cars reported stranded in high water there. The city of Canandaigua says the sticky tar-like goo washing up on the beach at Kershaw Park is apparently used motor oil, dumped along with construction debris used as fill when the park was built on the north end of Canandaigua Lake in the 1920s and 30s. The city and the Canandaigua Lake Watershed Council collected samples of the tar balls that washed up on Kershaw Beach this summer. They had them tested by Dr. John Hassett, professor of chemistry at SUNY's College of Environmental Science and Forestry. Samples of the goo were analyzed through the college's gas chromatography mass spectrometer. They found that it's not creosote, coal tar, or PCBs, which would pose a major health concern. Instead, it's a mix of light hydrocarbons and heavy oils consistent with used crankcase oil, the type used in trucks about 80 years ago. Over the time it was buried, the material has degraded into that tar-like appearance. Kevin Albany of the Watershed Council says water samples taken inside and outside of a curtain put around the suspected site of the contamination didn't show any chemical compounds in the water. Albany says it may be inconceivable to us today that used motor oil would be dumped into a lake, but that's how things were in the 1920s. As for what to do about it, Albany says it means building a temporary dam around the suspected site where the oil is buried, then digging out the contaminated material and trucking it away for safe disposal. He says that may mean digging up the entire swimming area and the buffer on each side. The State Department of Environmental Conservation and the State Health Department will take the lead in planning and finding funds for this project. Work will probably start in the fall when the lake is at its lowest level. Officials in the village of Albion say Eagle Harbor Road will be closed several weeks for repairs after it was undermined by a sinkhole Monday night. A leak in the Erie Canal is blamed for causing the sinkhole, which authorities say started out about 7 feet across, eventually grew to 30 feet and beyond, eating a chunk of the road. The New York State Canal Corporation is still trying to figure out how the canal failed. A spokesman says it does not appear to be related to a construction project that was taking place in the area. Workers closed the guard locks between Albion and Holly, isolated a 10-mile stretch of the canal in Orleans County, and that section is being drained so crews can look for the problem. And that section of the canal is obviously closed to boaters. It will remain so until further notice.
Not just here in Rochester, but we inspire the entire nation.
Get ready for Pittsburgh's own Abby Wambach and the U.S. women's national team to make a visit to Rochester. They'll play their first post-London Olympics match in Rochester against Costa Rica on Saturday, September 1st at Salem Stadium. The match kicks off at 2:30 in the afternoon. It'll be broadcast live on NBC. Webster and Penfield get ready for a round of construction on routes 104 and 441. It's part of a $7.4 million resurfacing project. About 5.5 miles of 104 from the Bay Bridge to Phillips Road will be resurfaced in the town of Webster. Construction begins in mid-August. It will take about 3 months. Most of the work will be done at night. Nearly 3 miles of Route 441 will be upgraded from Dublin Road to the Wayne County line in Penfield. That work starts next week, and it will take about 3 weeks. Motorists will run into flaggers directing traffic, and you can expect slowdowns. On this page, you can find links to these and other stories. At the bottom, links for you to use. You can post us your own news updates, sports, salutes, and so on. We want to know what's making news in your area, and you can tell us right here on these pages. Next news as it happens, updates when necessary. I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.